World's most terrifying dictator. How does he rule his country? What does daily life look like in North Korea? You might feel suffocated while imagining it. The government tries its best to control every aspect of its citizens' lives. Who will live where? Who'll do what? What will they study? Everything is decided by the government. Your clothes, your hairstyle, the movies you watch, the government tells you all of it. Your phone's operating system would take a screenshot at a random time, and the screenshot is sent to the government so that they know what you watch on your phone. For a crime committed by any person, even his grandchildren might be punished. The law of guilt by association. Even the members of a family distrust each other. They can't talk to their siblings, parents, or children without fear. Despite this, over the last few years, Kim Jong-un's hold has been weakening. A silent revolution is underway, led by North Korean women. Hello, friends. In 1981, a pregnant woman was imprisoned in North Korea's political prison camp Tiruan-14. The woman gave birth in the jail. She named her child Shin Dong-hyuk, and this boy grew up in jail. The thing is, the North Korean government believes in the concept of guilt by association. If a person commits a political crime, his entire family is jailed. The punishment for one's deeds has to be borne by 3 generations. That is, if someone's grandfather commits a crime, then the grandson will also go to jail. That is why Shin Dong-hyuk grew up in jail, because the North Korean government believed that his blood had become impure. He spent his childhood in jail, in terrible condition. He was given only a little corn porridge to eat. He had to eat grass and rats just to stay alive. There were around 20,000 prisoners in this prison camp, and the rules of the camp were very simple. If you try to run away, you would be shot to death. If you hear someone planning about running away but do not report it, you would be executed as well. One day when Shin Dong-hyuk was 13 years old, he heard his mother and brother making a plan to escape the jail. He did not understand much. He was young and hungry. So he went and told the guards, hoping that the guards would give him some extra food. 7 months later, the inmates were gathered in the ground, and Shin Dong-hyuk was made to stand at the front. And then, in front of his eyes, the prison guards executed his mother by hanging, and his brother by shooting. Shin Dong-hyuk was forced to see all of it, after which, for 6 months, he was mercilessly tortured. In 2005, at the age of 23, Shin Dong-hyuk tried to flee the prison camp. Luck was on his side. He was successful. Escaping the guards' eyes, he somehow fled North Korea and reached China, and then went to South Korea. And this is why the world got to know his story. Later, Shin became a human rights advocate. His voice reached even the United Nations, and a famous book was written on him, Escape from Camp 14. In the Bible, we read about heaven and hell. When in hell, souls have to live amongst the flames. That's what the prison camp was like. Based on stories revealed by survivors like Shin, in this video, let's understand, how does daily life look like in North Korea? How do common people spend their lives in the world's most terrifying dictatorship? The population of North Korea is about 25 million. On the world map, you can locate it at just above South Korea. In the west, it has the giant China. And if you look at the satellite imagery of this map at night, you will see something very strange. You can see China and South Korea glittering with light. But here in the middle, there's only darkness. This is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK. That's the official name of North Korea, and interestingly, the name of their country has the word democratic. This should tell you that merely calling yourself democratic doesn't actually make you a democratic nation. In North Korea, people can't read at night, can't watch TV. They go to sleep at 7 in the evening because they are accustomed to living in the dark. In 1995, the population of frogs was slowly declining in North Korea. Later, people realized that the people there were so hungry that they started hunting frogs. The famine in North Korea between 1995 and 1998 was one of the biggest man-made catastrophes. The exact number of people who died of starvation was never revealed. But it is estimated that 500,000 to 2 million people died in this. But the amazing thing is that North Korea's situation wasn't always like this. There was a time when North Korea was more successful than South Korea. In 1980, in terms of per capita GDP, North Korea was ahead of both India and China. And the North Korean government focused the most on trying to cover up. Their capital city is Pyongyang. Here, to present itself as a model of stable socialism, they removed all homeless and starving people from the city. The ruling party workers living here were given all the facilities, but the situation outside The city was terrible. People in rural areas starved to death. In his book, The Great North Korean Famine, Andrew Natsios stated that North Korean families let their elderly relatives starve to death to survive themselves, so that the young family members could get food and survive. Many grandparents chose to starve to death so that their children could survive. This was happening because North Korea was a tightly controlled dictatorship, a totalitarian dictatorship. When America, Britain, and the Soviet Union defeated countries like Japan and Germany during World War II, Japan's occupation of the Korean peninsula came to an end, and the US and the Soviet Union decided to divide the country into two. North Korea was put under the Soviet Union's influence, and the South went to the USA. They did the same with Germany. After defeating Hitler in Hawaii, Germany was also divided into two parts: East Germany under the Soviet Union's influence, and West Germany under the US's. And so North Korea was influenced by the Soviet Union. They adopted the same ideologies. It became a communist state. And the guerrilla leader who fought against Japan, Kim Il-sung, became the first supreme leader of the country. Since then, this family has ruled the country. Today, Kim Il-sung's grandson, Kim Jong-un, is the supreme leader and dictator of the country. It won't be right to call this country a communist dictatorship, because this is a family-led dictatorship. Everything the government of this country does, it is to continue the Kim family's rule. The government makes all effort to control every aspect of people's personal lives. Who will live where? What work will they do? Where will they study? Everything is decided by the government. Apart from this, what people watch on TV, things they get to access on the internet, the places they travel to, their hairstyles, every single thing is controlled by the government. Right from schools, school education is free in their country. And it is mandatory to go to high school. Those who don't attend school are punished. But the problem is that there's no education in school. Teachers pay attention to a child only after taking bribes. And that's why those who have money hire a personal tutor at their home. It's a privilege to be allowed to live in Pyongyang. And it is an even greater privilege for your kids to attend an institution like this. There aren't many videos of schools of North Korea. The videos on the screen are of the schools their government wants to present to the world. The elite of the elite schools. After school, students' family background and bribery help them get admission to a college. After college, men have to serve in the military compulsorily. This can last for up to 10 years. Talking about the political system, even thought it is a dictatorship. There are parliamentary elections in North Korea every 5 years. The only thing is, only a candidate from the ruling Workers' Party can contest from each seat. And if someone votes against this, they will be considered a traitor. If you do this, their secret police will reach your house and will declare you mad. What is the secret police? Let's talk about this later in the video. This is why the voting percentage in North Korea is more than 99.9%. Almost every person votes here. The government considers voting as an unofficial census and uses it to maintain control over the people. In North Korea, the government decides the kind of clothes people can wear. Their hairstyles. They have a list of approved hairstyles. For now, only 15 hairstyles have been approved for men and 15 for women. You can see this photo from a 2017 news article. This shows the 15 hairstyles approved for men. If you want to get a haircut in North Korea, you'd need to choose one of these 15 hairstyles. One thing you'll notice is that dictator Kim Jong-un's haircut is not on this approved list, because no one else is allowed to have that hairstyle. No one else in North Korea can wear the same glasses as he does. People in this country can't even dye their hair because there is a ban on dyeing. Additionally, in terms of clothes, blue jeans, ripped jeans, and skinny jeans are also banned. Apart from this, branded clothes are also banned because they are seen as an effect of Western culture. Tight dresses, short skirts, and sun hats are also not allowed for girls. Apart from these rules, your clothes cannot be influenced by Western culture in any way. Women cannot wear red lipstick. Makeup is also seen as a Western influence, so only minimal makeup is allowed. Now, after hearing so many rules, you might be wondering who will implement these rules. For this, friends, North Korea has a fashion police. I am not joking. If a person tries to break these rules, then he will have to face the fashion police. The fashion police keeps a watch over the people secretly. Whoever wears clothes against the rules, their clothes are cut. Some people have to pay fines, and some even get jailed. Why does the government want to control a person's dressing style so much? The reason behind this is that their government sees fashion as a cultural invasion. They believe that if this Western capitalist lifestyle gets into their country, it will be a threat to the country. They are afraid that if people start liking foreign things, they will stop liking their country. The North Korean government is so serious about this issue that in 2005, they made a propaganda series about hairstyles. Let's trim our hair in accordance with the socialist lifestyle. This propaganda series claimed that having long hair is unhealthy, and it reduces a person's intelligence. In North Korea, development of new products and services for the common citizens is next to none. North Korea. The next aspect of this totalitarian ideology is controlling people's movement. People cannot go from one part of the country to another. For this, they have to get the government's permission and tell them the purpose of doing so. This is just domestic travel. But if someone wants to travel internationally, if they want to go visit another country, there is a stricter ban on it. No one can go abroad without the government's permission. And going abroad without permission is considered a traitorous act. If someone does this, their entire family can be punished with forced labor, torture, life imprisonment, and even death. The story of Shin Dong-hyuk that I told you at the beginning of this video. Do you know why his entire family was locked up in this prison camp? Because Shin Dong-hyuk's uncle had fled to South Korea, and so many generations of his family was jailed in this prison camp. Their government is so serious about this that after COVID, the border guards were given a shoot-at-sight order for anyone. Korea's former rulers. There are cartoons, news programs praising the regime, and of course the star of the show, Kim Jong-un, is presented as a god, provoking fan frenzies reminiscent of Taylor Swift. A man of the people, even braving floodwaters, narrowly dodging tree branches to rescue his citizens. Watching foreign shows and movies is a serious crime. Those who are caught face severe punishment. Look at this news from 2022. For watching a South Korean drama and distributing it, 2 teenagers were sentenced to 12 years of hard labor. Imagine a child who wants to watch a South Korean movie, being put in jail for 12 years because it's a crime. There's another news from 2022, where watching and sharing South Korean films and music led to a young man being shot to death publicly. But despite this, there is a severe lack of entertainment in the country that people secretly smuggle South Korean dramas. You will find South Korean movies in the local black market. Earlier, they used to sell DVDs. People bought old Chinese DVD players to watch these shows at home. To catch them, government authorities would cut off electricity randomly. Electricity being cut off meant that the CD or DVD would be stuck. It could not be removed from the DVD player. They used this opportunity to enter people's home in the dark and would forcefully open the DVD players to check the DVD which was playing. With time, people started using USB sticks, and it's much easier to hide them. Even though North Koreans lack internet connections, they can watch smuggled movies and TV shows on their computers or on Chinese video players with USB ports like these called no-tels. While watching these foreign shows and movies, people turn off the lights and windows in their homes so that even the neighbors can't see them, and at a barely audible volume. Talking about the internet in North Korea is extremely limited. To use it, you have to get government's permission. After getting permission, a librarian sits between every 2 people to keep an eye on what you are searching on the internet. Every 5 minutes, the computer's screen freezes. And to further use the internet, the librarian's fingerprint is needed. A person can use the internet for only 1 hour, and if he needs an extension, he needs to take the government's permission again. For the common people, the North Korean government has created an internal internet. You can think of it as an intranet. People use this intranet on their phones and computers, where everything is controlled. The exact websites that are available on the intranet, the government specifically selected each of them, and there are only a few websites on it. Apart from this, it is so expensive that most people cannot afford to use it. There is no form of social media in North Korea. People did try to clone websites like Facebook and Netflix, but those attempts failed. The smartphones sold there are unimaginably censored. You cannot place any international call on those phones. At a random time, the phone's operating system takes a screenshot. This screenshot is sent to the government so that they can see exactly what you are doing on your phone. Apart from this, the software coding of these smartphones is such that only government-approved content would be shown. There is no app store to download the apps approved by the government. Even for that, people need to go to a physical store. Can you imagine how suffocating the lives of the people living in this country are? In terms of religion, North Korea is officially an atheist country. People have no freedom to practice or preach any religion. It is punishable by death. Christians are specifically targeted here because they are seen as being influenced by America. Thousands of Christians are locked in political prison camps and are tortured. In 2009, a woman named Ri Hyun-ok was executed publicly for distributing the Bible. Her husband and 3 children were then sent to a political prison camp. This reminds me of a famous dialogue from the movie Oh My God. When you take away God from people, people will find God somewhere else. Don't take away religion from people. If you take away people's religion, they will follow you religiously. In North Korea, the Kim family has become something akin to a religion. Especially North Korea's first supreme leader, Kim Il-sung, and the second supreme leader, Kim Jong-il. Both of them are worshipped like gods. There are pictures and statues of these 2 leaders at every home, office, school, and other public places. Anywhere you go in North Korea, you will feel like you are being watched by these 2 leaders as if they're the big brother from George Orwell's novel, 1984. The secret police goes to every house to check, and if their pictures are not found in your home, then you can be prosecuted. People have to protect these pictures and statues, even if it means putting their own lives in danger. If someone does not do this, they will face a proceeding. There was a case in 2020 where instead of protecting